Marriage is a black market.
Something like that.
Banjo.
It's something like that. That slaughter it, or you burn it, or you boil it, whatever. So
Shall kill it.
as long as the cat is dead. So in this case,
I hope the husband is not the cat in this situation.
no, marriage is more or less a game of chance. It is like 70% luck, 30% love.
Hello and welcome on the E.B.U.N show. So we started season 2 of the show asking why do men cheat? And we got on the street to speak with both married and singles. We got quite interesting and amazing answers. So today we thought, what a child cannot see climbing on the mountain, an elder sees sitting down. And that is why we're here in the home of Mrs. Olayinka Fayemi, a retired director of finance and administration from Lagos Civil Service. She's been married for 43 years. 43! Of course, a grandma, and she's the Glam Ma of Lagos on Instagram. You're about to get some wisdom. Say, wisdom, don't leave me. You're welcome on the show. So we hear of issues of infidelity here and there on social media. This marriage is breaking up, this one has issues. My first thought is it that men now cheat more these days than during your days? Or it is we women that have become more temperamental? Tara Obama, which is it?
I don't think anything has changed really between now and then. It's just that the impact of social media is bringing everything to the fore, much more than ever before. Nothing has really changed. People are always people and they always be people. Men have always cheated and they always continue to cheat. There's no stopping that. That's the reality. That's the stark reality.
Whoa.
Nothing has really changed.
So let me move forward to how did you then handle it during your time? What should a woman do in the face of infidelity?
There's a lot a woman can do really. First things first, there must be love between the couple. And if there's love, the woman will be, tolerant, at least a bit tolerant of the man's flirtatious activities. Because like I said, men flirt. Men can be unfaithful. Meanwhile, that is not to say that every man you see is a flirt. Of course, there are a few who are honest, who are truthful, who are straightforward, who are reliable, who you can trust, who you can lock up in a room with another woman and they'll behave themselves. Those ones also exist. So it's not like the world is full of a bunch of flirting men. Because after all, women also flirt. Let's say the truth. But in those days, like now, like I said, nothing has changed, nothing is new under the sun. Men could hide their flirtatious activities. They could go to secret places with ladies, do what they want to do, hide under one excuse or the other, tell the woman the story, I'm in the office, I'm late, I'm traveling, whatever, and she wouldn't be in a position to know the truth. Except occasionally when the man and his concubine, let me put it that way, stumble, they stumble into somebody they know, somebody who knows them, and who goes back to tell
the wife.
This is what is going on. Otherwise, a flirting man can do that for ages and nobody will be any wiser.
Like sustain a family elsewhere.
Yes, and still keep a straight face at home. These days, thankfully, with social media, it is no longer that easy for them. Even if a man travels to as far away as New York, for example, with a babe, as they say,
A side chick.
A side chick, my dear. There's every possibility, that they can be found out. Maybe on the plane, maybe in New York City, maybe anywhere. In the shopping mall. People travel a lot these days. Social media is active. You can't really hide these things anymore. That is not to say that there are not some very pretty smart people who can still hide, But the chances are, things are very difficult for cheats now. Hiding is not that easy anymore.
You said something about if there is love among them,
yes,
the woman should be able to tolerate some extent. It looks like it is the woman who has to do the mending, because I think if both of them love each other, the man shouldn't go out in the first place. A man who loves his wife, would that man cheat on his wife in the first place?
These things it's not a one size fits all,
kind of thing.
If there's love, some men actually love their wives and still cheat. And in the same way, some women love their husbands and still cheat. That love is there at the back of their minds. It's there in their hearts. But I don't know, I'm not making excuses for them, but these things happen. Maybe it's weakness of the flesh, lack of self-control. These things happen. Let's face it. It happens. But, like I said, if there's love, let's now look at men cheating. We're talking about men cheating.
Men cheating, yes.
Now, if the woman loves her husband, she may overlook some things. Maybe until it gets to that point where she feels, no, she's had enough. By nature, women are mothers, they are tolerant, they bear. Even by upbringing, women tend to bear a lot of things, But it gets to a point sometimes when they say, no, I've had enough, and they up and go. But if children are involved, in a home where a child or two are involved, there's got to be some rethinking. A woman would not ordinarily say, because I caught my husband cheating, or I heard, even when she doesn't have physical evidence, she won't come home. She will come home and rant and shout and do all that, but she won't pack and go at the first instance. She'll give him a second chance, a third chance, Why? Because the children are much more important. Well, these days they say, no, it's me and my husband first, the children come later.
Your mental health.
Yes, but for me, the children are more important, their future.
Okay.
Because children who are, I'm not saying that single parents can't raise children, no, that's not the point. But children who have their fathers and mothers around them to bring them up together tend to do better in life. A lot of kids who roam the streets today, who don't go to school, who join bad gangs, who are easily influenced by peer pressure, a lot of them, research has shown, come from broken homes. Therefore, I think any woman who has the love and concern for her children should rethink before she packs up in marriage.
I'm sure a young lady is there who is not married yet, who is thinking, this issue with marriage is much. I'm not sure I want to go into one. How is it possible to know a man who will cheat? Maybe by looking at his bank. But this one is going to be a cheat. Is it going to know before getting into marriage?
No, not at all. There's no, what did Shakespeare say? There's no art of telling the mind's construction on the face. You can't tell a book by its cover, no matter how hard you try. See, I believe that for like 50%, marriage is a game of chance. Because love can come and go. And if that relationship is not there to sustain the marriage, to keep it going, it will flop.
So love is not enough?
No, it's not enough. No, it is not enough. Love is not enough.
So marriage is a black market.
It's something like that.
Banjo!
It's something like that.
Should a woman probe the suspicion of her husband cheating?
I don't understand that.
So if you begin to suspect that your husband is cheating on you,
Yeah.
Should you investigate it?
Should you bother to know if he's cheating or I have to keep my mental health, to keep my sanity. Let me not just bother. Should you want to know if your husband is cheating?
If you have solid information, valid information, good evidence, you should investigate. One, like you said, for your mental health. Because if you don't, haven't heard at all that this guy is up to some pranks, whether you investigate or not, you are bothered.
It's registered.
It's registered in your head, it's registered in your mind, you think about it all the time. You, at the back of your unconsciously, you want to know who this other person is, why is he attracted to her, what can I do to change the situation? You want to know some things. So if you can investigate, I don't know how, it depends on the situation, but if you can, you should.
You should.
Now, in our own setup, in the Nigerian setup, or maybe the African setting generally, some of these side chicks, as they are called, can be harmful. Because most times, they know you, you don't know them. And they can do you harm. Anyhow, could be physical, could be spiritual. So, if you can find out get to know who she is from anyhow, for whatever reason, go ahead and do that. I would advise you know, once you have valid evidence, you should pursue it.
So in such a case, who do you have issues with when you have valid evidence that your husband is cheating? Who do you have a case with, really? Your husband or the lady?
Of course, it's the husband. Of course, it's the husband. Getting to know who he's cheating with is just for information. And just for you to know who your enemy is. Just to put it down, who your enemy is. That's all.
You know why? Because I've heard so many women say, even if they give birth to, if another lady gives my husband a child, that's our allow. I carry the child, but I will not leave my husband. We make it look as though it is the other woman who is the issue.
The issue is the husband. I mean, if he didn't approach the other woman would not be in the picture. Very likely won't be in the picture. Of course, there are situations where women virtually sell themselves to men. Even some very comfortable, some very rich men still go ahead to, attract or capture, younger men for whatever reason. So, I think any sensible housewife or wife should have issues only with her husband, not with the other woman. And it's not always about a battle. It's not like you have to confront your husband, making huge noise, raise hell. No, not all the time. As they say, there are many ways of killing the cat. You rather slaughter it, or you boil it, whatever. So,
shall kill it.
As long as the cat is dead. So in this case,
I hope the husband is not the cat in this situation.
No, not at all. But it depends on the man himself.
Are you scared, babe?
It depends on the man himself.
Yes.
If the man gets good, solid information, valid one, that Lagbaja is doing this and that, she confronts him, he's sober, he's ready to change, he confesses, he apologizes and promises not to do it again. The woman should, cool temper. But if after some time the dog goes back to his vomit, so to say, I'm sure the woman will flare up again. But each time, though, I would not suggest that any woman goes wild because of the issue of, of a flirtatious husband. No. One way she can handle it is to occupy her mind with other things. Focus on the children. Ensure they are doing good in their studies, their well-being. Take care of the husband as well. Make sure his meals are ready. Treat him like you've always treated him. It is difficult.
You should go and meet the woman outside now. To take care of him. Shebi is going outside. You should go and meet that one.
That will be the end of affairs. That may end everything. That's like handing the man over to the other person and saying, no, I'm not interested anymore. As long as the woman is still interested, let her be patient, let her be peaceful, let her go about it in the peaceful manner. And of course with prayers. Very likely the man will come back home.
Is another solution saying, Kuku, bring the woman home? Because I've heard people of, see, in your time, you people did a lot of funny things. I've heard stories. Like, some of the women even look for a wife, like a second wife for their husbands. Like, instead of you donating around, let me help you find one so that you stay in the house.
But there are examples of that in the Bible.
Yes, but
But seriously speaking, that wasn't in my own time. That was before.
Before
that
your
was,
time.
That was even in my mother's time, and even my grandmother's time, because they used to tell me such stories.
Wow.
In my own time, that didn't. I mean, I don't think it happened, except maybe in rare cases where a woman cannot conceive. Okay, and she may now decide to, like something like surrogacy. Decide to, but in the case of surrogacy, the man doesn't marry the woman. But in the olden days, they would actually marry the woman, bring her home. Most times, a much younger person, just to have children for
the family.
For the family, as it were. Yes.
Thank you so much for your time, Glam Ma of Lagos. You can see she's really glammed up. Now, as we round off, just give us a final word for a woman who's struggling in a marriage or probably in a relationship. Even should a woman in a relationship even be patching up if you are not married yet and the guy is all about, I don't think you should go ahead with a guy who is already cheating with it when you're not married. But please give us a word for a woman who is married, who is faithful to her husband, and yet the husband is not being faithful to her.
I would say such a woman, as long as she still loves the man, and as long as she's still convinced that the man loves her, she should make an extra effort to save her marriage. Reason, if she leaves that marriage and goes on to another marriage, what is the guarantee that the second person will be better than the first? Like I said earlier, men are flirtatious by nature. Ditto for women. And like I said earlier, marriage is more or less a game of chance. It is like 70% luck, 30% love. So once you have that at the back of your mind, when you go into a marriage, I mean, there are marriages where there are no kids and the couple stay married for a very long time. So, but when kids are involved, I mean, you have to be more considerate as a woman. You must be conscious of the future of your kids. Be patient with the man, talk to him, pray. Prayer is very, very important. Pray about the issue, keep talking to him, talk to your pastor, talk to a counselor, get advice, and I'm sure everything will work out fine.
Thank you. Okay, yes.
Where your health
is concerned,
where your mental health now, where your safety is not guaranteed, if the other lady is, if you see signs that somebody is after you, after your life, or the lives of your children, or even the life of your husband, you decide to step aside. If there's no physical abuse, you may bear it. But where there's physical abuse, don't look back. Just up and go and pray for the best.
Thank you so much, Glam Ma Fayemi. Thank you for being on the E.B.U.N show.
My pleasure, anytime.
You've heard her. Try as much as possible to save your home, but where physical abuse is certain, please hop out. If you can run out, because the covenant of life is greater than the covenant of marriage. So please save your life. Join us on another episode of the E.B.U.N show. Thank you for staying today with us. Have you subscribed? Did you like this video? And please share. Thank you and bye.
Bye.